welcome back to Meandering Miles. I'm Adam, and I'm here with Christie from Ohio, who is an avid motorcyclist. And we met on Blue Sky a few weeks ago because she was taking a trip down in the West Virginia and Southeast Kentucky area. And I was really in this place that I had recently been, and I was really intrigued to hear her story and find out how her trip went. So welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I always like to start off by asking people what what's your riding story? What got you into riding motorcycles in the first place?
Well, when we were young, my friend had a little 50. So that was the first time technically I was on a bike. And then just rode around on the back some, in my 20s or whatever. And silly me, 35 years old, I get on a dirt bike. And it was probably the dumbest thing I ever did. Not a bit of insurance, scared to death. I thought I was going to die. I was on a little 100, and he says,
Hmm.
"Go over that curb." And I know about science and things, but I thought I was just going to hit the curb, fall over, and die. And so, if you ever hear me call goggles, are called foggles because I was literally crying and I could not see. I was really, really upset. I thought I was going to die for real. And but then I got on a Honda CR 125.
Hmm.
That thing was like a chainsaw on a pogo stick. That thing was wicked. Um, and 3 months into my dirt bike riding, I went to something called Rumble on the Ridge here in Ohio, and it's 27 miles of just trails and river crossings and uphill and downhill and trees. Um, Believe me, think you're going to die. Uh, that'll be a common theme through this whole process is that I'm pretty much sure I'm going to die every time I go out. But yeah,
Well, so far you've been wrong.
yes, thankfully, right? Knock on wood. So I just never really wanted to get on the street. I like the
Hmm.
dirt because, you're not really going to see people coming out of nowhere. I really didn't have to think about it too much. I mean, you've got on your track, you've got your quads and your other people, and so I would just kind of pot around and do my own thing, and it was nice. It was enjoyable. I didn't like any of the trails because the trees would just come up too fast, and I was just not prepared for that. Um, so some of the track, and I think I felt like Ricky Carmichael. I got about this high off the jump one time, and I didn't have to be cool after that anymore. And just one day, 4 years ago, I said I want a street bike, and my boyfriend said it's about time, and because he had been just trying to get me on the street for a really long time, and I was on the back of his. I just really didn't care. I could bird watch and just kind of not have to really do anything, and it was nice. And then I got a 1988 250 Honda NX,
Hmm.
and it was a little enduro. And I thought because I'm used to the dirt bikes, I can just get out and putt around and get used to what it's like to be on the street. The first week, I had grandma try to run me over. I mean, it was not great, but it helped me learn how to conduct myself on the road. Like I'm always looking for you. I'm always playing, what's this guy gonna do
Hmm.
next? So so that kind of helped me. I putted around my little town, and I started my first day with 7 miles in the little neighborhood over there, practicing stops and then turning from a stop and just like going through very slowly. And then 3 years later I ended up on this Indian.
Hmm. And so what made you choose the bike you have? I think bikes are a little like puppies. They choose you.
I think it did. I went into the local motorcycle dealership, and they sell used bikes, all kinds of different kinds of bikes in there. And I had been talking to some of my friends in my ladies riding group, and they all have cruisers, and they're going to Nebraska, and they're taking these long trips. And I had a FC6 at the time, which was cute. It was nice, 250 miles to the gallon. I mean to the gallon, to the tank. And it was a nice little bike. It was fast enough and everything. And but I was looking for something maybe for like just comfortable, just checking out what they're talking about. And
Hmm.
I sat on a Harley and my feet went out in front of me and I'm like, this is not, I can't do this. It's just not comfortable. It's just against nature. And because I had, learned on the dirt bike where my legs are straight down from, right beneath me. And I just like that kind of
Right.
sitting position. And
Hmm.
so I just happened to be fooling around at the dealership. I went for a clear visor, which I knew I could get at Amazon. So I was kind of killing time walking around. And then I turned the corner and there's that Indian. And I just went pitter pat. And I said, take my money. I didn't know what the bike was. I saw that it said 1200 on there. Didn't really mean much to me, but it was just so pretty. And and then, so I came back the next day. They let me take it for a test ride. They probably didn't think I was coming back because it was April, it was snowing out there. And I did 50 miles. I was gone for an hour. So they probably didn't think I was coming back. But yeah, I put 10,000 miles on that bike since April last year. So I've been
Wow.
out there ripping on it. Yeah, it's fun.
Awesome. So what kind of riding do you like to do? Is it weekends, day trips, longer
All of
trips?
it.
What all of it?
All of it. Like when we get a new member in our group, I always chime up and say I'm always out because I'm always out. Like
Hmm.
if it's beautiful, I'm gonna ride to work, even though the poor thing's gonna sit under a tree all day. So it takes me like 20 minutes to get to work. It takes me an hour and a half to get home when I ride.
Hmm.
So I'm sure you understand that.
I do.
I don't mind going all day.
Hmm.
If you want to do a few 100 miles or so, um, I'm absolutely fine with that. I don't get a lot of pictures because I just don't stop. A lot of these people want to stop and get pictures and go see this and go get ice cream. And I'm like, let's just go. I call it the gas station tour. Pretty much all my pictures are at the gas station because that's when I'm stopping, right?
I, I
There
I
was,
understand. I was recently planning a trip and was like, I think I was looking at the map and said it looks like about 120 miles, but if I do it right, I could probably make it into 160.
right, absolutely. I woke up one day, nobody was around. I was off work. It was a beautiful day. I picked up and went down to Marietta the long way. I was gone 8 hours, you know,
Hmm.
9 hours, and probably did 350, 400 miles that day just out by myself. And
Hmm.
I like to be on the back roads where nobody is and just kind of doing my own thing, checking out the scenery. Sometimes I get the zoomies, um, you know. So I just like to be out there. I like to be out there in the air.
Got it. So one of the questions I always ask people is like, what's your when you're riding, what's your flow state? What's your I could be doing this forever? Sounds like back roads and
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes when we go on these rides with the ladies, that's real nice because we're always doing the speed limit and it's just really chill. It's just, everybody's together. Um, but it's just real relaxed. It's like not a fast pace. Um, these boys over here keep suckering me in to go riding with these leader bikes and chasing them
hmm.
down to West Virginia and stuff like that. And that's okay. I don't usually go as fast as they do, but I'm like 2 minutes behind, not too bad. But that's okay as long as I don't push it too hard. I don't mind
Hmm.
that either. Like I can get into going a little fast. Like some of that Tazewell trip was I took that really slow. Like I like
Hmm.
more of the sweepers, you're just kind of, doing like a bumblebee.
Hmm.
That's more of what I kind of like doing, but pretty much I'll go anywhere.
Hmm. Yeah, for me, when I'm on the back roads and it's the going up the hill and then going down, and there's a creek at the bottom, and the temperature gets a little cooler, and then it
Right?
gets a little warmer, and you just sort of, and then you pass a roadside barbecue truck, and you're just, it's just the smells, and it's just such a great experience for me. I just love that kind of riding.
I like to look at the map and say that road looks funky, and just get down there and see what's going on. That's how this southern part of Ohio, pretty much I
Hmm.
know that like the back of my hand. I mean, I get lost on a straight road here, but down there I could get you anywhere, and I'll take you to the funkiest little places you never even knew existed. There's not even a fire department, you know. But as
Hmm.
long as there's a gas station, I've probably been there.
Fair enough. So you mentioned your Tazewell trip, and that's sort of the area that I was recently in. Although I had 5 days of rain, you had a little
Mm.
bit of rain. Um, tell me what was the story of that trip? What prompted that one?
Well, I have some vacation at my job, and I've had a lot of dogs for a few years, and so taking a trip is kind of hard
Hmm.
to get together. So now I'm down to one
Yeah.
dog, and we were able to get him boarded for a week. And I just looked on the map, and I thought, where would I want to go? Where do I want to take my little X4 and get video of he and I riding around? And the tail of the dragon was always kind of intriguing,
Hmm.
because I feel like I'm definitely not a novice rider. I'm probably not an expert by no means, but I kind of wanted it sounded like a challenge. It sounded like something I wanted to try. But the problem with the tail is there's all the Yahoos out there with their lift trucks and and
Right.
coming over the line, and it just that takes me back to why I didn't want to ride in the first place. Because I mean, I know that there's a calculated risk every time you get on that bike, but I mean, I don't want to compound that just because somebody's a ding dong, you know.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah, and there's a
happened
lot of people
to,
on that road. Yeah.
oh, yeah. So I wasn't real interested in that, but then I had heard about the back of the dragon and I looked at it and I was like, that's gorgeous over there. You could spend a week,
Hmm.
just going on the highway. Really, the highway was gorgeous. So that whole area, it was great. I haven't really looked at all of the footage from the mountain. I'm kind of scared to look at it because I was in second gear. Now, granted, that bike will do 65 in second, but I wasn't doing 65 because I'm afraid of heights. I looked over the cliff and it was over. It was over after that. The fear had kicked in, and I was letting people pass me, and I just kind of took it on my own.
Hmm.
And then we went from Tazewell south to whatever that town is down there, and we were going to go around, but then there was a storm coming in. So basically, the only way to get back to where we needed to go was going back over again. So we did it twice that day, and
Hmm.
I bought two T-shirts, one for each way.
So that was the back of the dragon. Did you do the what other ones did you do? There's the Talon, and then there's the Dragon Slayer, and there's a whole bunch of them down there that they've
So
got named.
we were in the Airbnb there for like 2 days. So we didn't have a
Hmm.
whole lot of time over there. And to get to the Talon was like 2.5 hours to get there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
some of that we really didn't do like the name roads.
Hmm.
But right around Tazewell and that surrounding area, we did get to check out a lot of it. And like I said, like that 460 up and down the mountain, just smooth
Yeah.
and curvy and nothing real tight, to
Hmm.
make you lose your lunch or whatever. But so it was really nice. I like to go and see places in little towns, and there was a Hatfield McCoy feud
Yep.
site, and yeah. So I mean, there was stuff to go out and do. It was really really hot, like it was
Yeah.
extremely hot, and then um, so we picked up after 2 days down in Tazewell. We picked up and went up to oh, one of the roads we took, I can't remember if it was 17, 19, or something, but we ended up going because everything's right there together, Virginia, West Virginia, and Kentucky. Well, we're on this road, and it was just gorgeous. It was going along the river and up the mountain and through the woods. All of a sudden, I quit seeing uh, road signs. Like, what road is this? So I get on the headset. Have you seen any road signs? He said, no. And I'm like, well, I don't know where we are. Well, then here comes a sign, welcome to Kentucky. So we are way up in there. But
Nice.
that was really nice. Like the side of a mountain. It wasn't, but it was more like level. Those
Hmm.
heavy drop offs are what really freaked me out. But it was kind of level. It wasn't really scary. But you knew you were up there. That was really nice. So we picked up and then we went up to I think it's called Harold, Kentucky. Tiny little town, found an Airbnb and went and rode around there for a couple more days. And the last day, my calves were so cramped up because of that mountain riding is something different.
Hmm.
Absolutely more like being on the dirt bike, more like actual work, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so that was interesting. So we took that last day and just kind of relaxed and then we drove home. So we rented a trailer from U-Haul and put the two bikes in there. Because I didn't want to be tired when I got there. You know, I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
and I kind of justified it by I know what Ohio looks like all the way down there, you know, and down to Wheeling and all that. I already know that. And then the only way really to get anywhere good is going to be to get on the highway. And I'm not real interested. I will if I have to get on the highway. That's my anti-groove is the highway. But so we just trailered those down there and I think it was a good decision because we also wanted to be able to get out and go somewhere if it's raining. I mean, I'm not going to
Sure.
go out in a downpour. And we were caught in a couple different storms. That weather
Hmm.
was really weird that week, but um, but overall, it was just a fantastic trip. I would do it again because there's so many places we could still go just in that little area we were in. Um, but you know, make it
Yeah.
to the Talon and the Dragon Slayer and all that. I got a map. Honestly, the thing is, you know, as long as my arm, and I'm ready to just start marking places off on that. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna have to ask my job for more vacation because I don't want to be there. I want to be on my bike on the road, you know. So yeah, I've got lots of places that we want to get out to.
That area is just, I fell in love with that area, and I hadn't really done a lot of riding there, but uh, I did my crazy 18,000 mile trip last year, and and I spent a lot of time, I spent a little bit of time in southeastern Kentucky, and it was just so gorgeous. And I really, really loved it. So when I had the opportunity to go down to the rally in Nashville, I was like, I'm going through West Virginia, I'm going through southeast Kentucky, I'm going to spend some time there. And you can't make a wrong turn. They're just every
Exactly.
road you go down is just beautiful.
Exactly. You come around the corner and there's this beautiful valley and a cute little town and you get the rolling hills. It's just incredible.
Yeah, it's stunning. So where are some other? You've got a huge map. Where are some other places you're interested in going?
You know where I really my dream trip would
I
be
love this. Go ahead.
to take the PCH. I lived in
Yeah.
San Diego for a long time and
Hmm.
I just want to go. I mean, it's a long way from San Diego up to like San Francisco.
It
Um
is.
yeah, so but on the bike it's not that far. You know, my
It's
map has become so much smaller since I got that bike, you know, because car trips are just like, oh, here we go. Is it over yet? You know, but on the bike, you're just there in every moment, and you know, you're dodging bugs, and you know, things are not as far. I feel like
hmm
on the bike, and so I would love to take a week and just go up or however long it would take. You know, like your trip, 18,000 miles. That's unbelievable. Like that's incredible. So
it was. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine something to aspire to.
So I picked up the. So I came off the San Bernardino Mountains and through L.A., which I had never been to L.A. I can't really say I stopped there and did anything. I went to Santa Monica Pier and dipped my toes in the ocean, and then I got
Okay.
on the PCH and just went north. And there's still that there was that section just south of Big Sur that's still closed, so I
Okay.
had to make a big loop around.
Well, that road
Um,
caved in, right?
yeah, and
Okay.
then And then there was a problem with the bridge about 2 or 3 weeks before I got there. And so they finally opened it like Memorial Day weekend. And my brother-in-law who lives in Cupertino, he and I drove down in his car down to Big Sur because I wanted to go there. Um, but then we rode all the way. I rode all the way up from San Francisco, all the way up to Crescent City into Oregon, and
Wow.
then all the Oregon coast. I gotta say, the PCH is beautiful. I love the Oregon coast, and it was stunning. Just the rocks, the sea stacks, the cliffs. It was just absolutely stunning.
Yeah, that is one place I really, really want to make it to. The Painted Desert out
Mm,
west. And I
yeah,
really want to go. Like, I want to see I want to see the desert bloom.
yeah.
With this bike, I don't know. I'd be a little nervous. I got about 140 miles, maybe, a tank. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. If I wanted to ride something else on that
Hmm.
big of a trip. But I am not opposed to owning more motorcycles at all. What do you got? You know? Um, but yeah, I would love to just go out and just putt around out west and go see what's going on.
Yeah. Utah is stunning, and New Mexico. There's so many beautiful places. When people ask for like stats on my trip and stuff, it was, yeah, it was 112 days, it was 18,000 miles. But my favorite part, it was 28 states, but it was 29 national parks. And I just
Nice.
absolutely loved all the national parks. And I did everything from, Arches and Zion and Bryce to Death Valley and Joshua Tree and Olympic National Park and just Glacier, Yellowstone. Just the riding in some of those national parks is just gorgeous.
I bet. I bet. Yeah, I need to get a pen and just start marking down places. Because I mean, that just sounds like a fantastic trip to me. I don't really camp or whatever, but if you had to, I'd put a tent back there and, just go, you know. That's what I like about being on the front of the bike is that you can just go. Just go
Hmm.
do whatever you want. Go see what you want, go as fast as you want, go as slow as you want. You're just doing your own thing. I think that maybe the independence is the biggest thing that I really, really like about running around on that little scooter is that I just go do whatever I want. I've always kind of been a loner anyway. And
Hmm.
so yeah, I don't mind it, to pick up and go ride around for 6 hours and I'll be home before dark, you know. See you later. Don't worry about me.
So I'm guessing I probably know the answer to this question, but I always like to ask people, so how do you plan a ride? How do you plan where you're going to go or what you're going to do? My guess is there's not a whole lot to it, which is great.
Well, yeah, I am a little fly by the seat of my pants. But basically, I look at the weather, I look at the map, I look at the roads. Is that one like straight and boring? Is it a good way to get to where I want to go? Um, we just went there last week, so let's go the other way. I don't really plan a ride with a destination in mind. I just
Hmm.
plan the ride for the ride. So,
Hmm.
yeah, not a whole lot of planning.
I know everybody likes to customize and modify and add add some things to make your bike yours. What have you done to your bike to make it yours?
Um, Rode the hell out of it and haven't washed it.
Okay.
No, really, I haven't really done anything to that FTR. The wheels came with an 18 on the back and a 19 on the front on the rims. And a lot of the guys are out there putting 17s on it, and it just changes how it rides and everything. But I wanted to ride the bike the way they designed it. It
Hmm.
came with these knobby tires. I don't know if they were 50/50s or whatever, but it came with these knobbies so you could go get dirty or whatever. But I wanted to do street riding. Like I have a dirt bike, I can go ride that anytime. So I wanted a street bike. So I kept the tires the same, and I wanted to enjoy the bike the way they designed it. Um, so the only thing that I took off was there was a fender thing around the back, and it held the license plate, and it was really ugly. So I took it off, and that thing just turned into, I mean, just naked, a gorgeous,
Hmm.
gorgeous bike. I don't know what was with that thing, but I put a fender eliminator on there, so my lights are just tucked up under the seat, and my tags way up under there, and well, I had one friend say, "Isn't that illegal?" I go, "Not yet." I mean, I mean, nobody said anything. So, yeah, I really haven't done anything to that. I guess there's not much you can do to that bike. You can change those tank covers. It's not really a tank. The gas tank's in the back. They're just like, I think they cover the air box, but that's $500 I would spend in gas that I would rather spend in gas. So,
Hmm.
not really a lot. My other bike, I didn't really do anything to that either. It came with some underseat scorpion pipes that growled real well, and I really didn't do anything to that one either. I guess I'm not really a big, I guess I don't know. I'm not a real, it doesn't matter that much to me. Like, especially with that Indian.
Hmm.
That is so unique itself, just the way it
Yeah, I mean
is.
they're pretty bikes.
Yeah, oh, so pretty. I'm sitting here looking at it. That's why I keep looking over there. I'm sitting here watching the bike while we're talking. Um, but then also, I get to be a chick on that bike too. So, I mean, really, you're not going to see a lot of that at all. So, the customization, not a big deal to me.
Awesome. And so you mentioned you're not a big camper, so mostly overnights in hotels and friends' couches and things like that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We found we went last year for my birthday. We went down to St. Mary's, West Virginia, which is right across the
Hmm.
Ohio border. We followed the river down and we went across, and it's like this oil production town or something like that. So we found this little flea bag motel, $50 a night. It was clean. It was for the guys that are working out of town or whatever. And we just like, how long are we going to be there? So we just dumped our stuff, got on the bikes and ran around, and so that's really, I don't have to stay at the W, you know. I'm not really out for that. I'm out to
Hmm.
see what's out in the world, what kind of roads do you have? And I will say that that trip to Tazewell, the roads were phenomenal. Like everything was really, really well maintained.
Hmm.
So that was nice. Some of the roads around here are pretty awful. So it was a nice change. No potholes and things like that. But I think while I was down there, I found where I want to retire, little place called Lebanon, this little beautiful valley town. But yeah, I don't really,
I, th- I
that doesn't really matter to me either. I'm really, really easily entertained, so as long as I get to go and ride around and they got some food somewhere, I'm happy.
I think with West Virginia, when you have roads that are that steep and that twisty, you kind of have to maintain them really well.
Sure, sure, you could get into some trouble easily. You look down for a second and it's over.
Hmm. Um, what's your favorite road snack? What do you stop for?
What do I stop for? Well, again, I don't stop much. It's usually gas. But if if we're going and maybe we're going to stop for lunch later, I'll take a Red Bull and a Slim Jim. And that'll keep me going. And then we'll just stop for lunch somewhere, wherever little mom and pop we find,
Hmm.
or a food truck out in the middle of nowhere. I'll bring maybe some trail mix in my bag. Um,
Hmm.
little snack bars. I found these little mini. What are they? Oh, they're so good. They're the Oh, they have dark chocolate, cashew, cherry, Kind bars with all the
Those are
nuts in
good.
them.
They
Oh
are
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, because then all the nuts or whatever, it gives you some protein and gives you power
Hmm.
to muscle on through that next mile or whatever. So I just like to keep it light.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I would
I'm
have
a
taken that.
sucker. I'm a sucker for a roadside barbecue stand. Like if there's a
Okay.
roadside barbecue, I'll stop and have just a little something just to see.
Just to see. Well, I like to go out and try the different things, see what's like I said, I like to go and see what's going on all over the place.
Nice. So so you went from dirt to street.
Hmm.
What do you think what's the biggest challenge or biggest difference um, that sort of made you fall in love with the street side of things?
Well, I can go fast without having to worry about a tree coming up.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the things is because I wanted to go faster on that dirt bike, but every time I got up to any kind of speed, here comes a jump, and then I was terrified. So,
Okay.
uh, my first giant challenge was not to put my foot down on the street because that's
Yeah.
all you do on the dirt bike. My foot was down the whole time, but I know your leg will come off if you keep doing that. Um, and the one thing that I miss about the dirt is that you're not really kicking that ass end around on the street, like you could
No.
just and there's not a lot of that, which I really enjoyed, just kind of gassing it and having the back end come out, just getting out there and getting stupid. But I try to keep it together on the street, I don't pull too many bonehead maneuvers.
Well, I mean, the consequences and the risks are just very different on the street, right? Like it's just, you can, even if you're just doing 5 miles an hour and you fall down, there's another car, there's something else there
Right.
that isn't necessarily there on the dirt.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
And the bike's a lot heavier too. So,
Well, I guess so. I guess that's true. All my bikes have been really, really light. Like that Indian's 400 pounds.
oh,
My other,
okay.
yeah, yeah, it really weighs nothing. Um, and I get to giggle when all the girls get together and they're trying to back up their baggers and they got girls pushing them, and I'm just over there on my tippy toes, just going anywhere I want to go. But yeah, that bike doesn't weigh very much. The FZ was 400,
Hmm.
450 wet, maybe.
Mine's about 900 pounds.
Oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine. I
It's
couldn't
big,
imagine.
but I have reverse,
Oh, okay. See, there you go. Like
so it's a
that is
little
a
bit
game
easier.
changer.
Sure
That's
is.
definitely a game changer.
So you mentioned your group riding. Where do you go? What kind of riding do you do with the groups?
Well, we do sometimes we'll do like little couple hour trips.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I think we rode, there was probably 15 of us rode out to Erie, PA, which was, like a 8 hour, it was a full day.
Yeah.
We plan like weekends. There's something coming up next month, I believe. It's a long day. I ride an hour to go meet the first set of girls. Then we ride 2 more hours to meet the second set of girls. Then we ride another 2 hours over to the town and they do a poker run, but it's called a scoot and shoot. And
Mm-hmm.
you go to all different driving shooting ranges and you have to shoot your cards. So you're shooting a Glock and a shotgun and we got to shoot a crossbow, and um last year we got an Airbnb, so we're going to do that. There was 10 of us staying in the house. It was just it's really nice, and it's nice to have um just the ladies. They're
Mm-hmm.
just really supportive. Um cuz back in the day, girls on motorcycles, that was just not really the thing to do. Um I think. I mean, there always were women on bikes, but
Mm-hmm.
just to have a group like that is just really, really nice. So let's see,
Yeah.
what else have we done? Let me think about that for a second.
Yeah. I met when I was in Utah. I pulled into Utah. I pulled into a little rest area or overlook, and there was a woman there with a big Indian motorcycle, and she was telling me that about her trip through Russia. on her Indian
Mm,
motorcycle.
wow.
And I was just like, I was amazed, right? She had shipped it over to Europe and ridden to Russia and was going, and just some of the places that she had gone were just, it was just fascinating.
Talk
And
about go
just,
do whatever you want to do.
right?
That's great. That is great.
Yeah. I mean, like, pretty badass.
Yeah, that's why I like getting together with the girls because you know, everybody's got their problems in their life and everything going on, but when we get together, it's just us and the bikes. And
Hmm.
there's there's a girl I knew her for 2 years. I didn't know anything about her because we were always riding, you know? I mean,
Hmm.
we would stop and chat, but really I knew what she did for work and, a couple of things, but I really didn't know much about her because we were just always out there ripping. And I think that's nice. You can just leave everything behind. I think some people find it comforting that it's just women.
Hmm.
If your husband doesn't want you going hanging around with the boys or whatever, you can still go and do what you want to do. And you're safe. Somebody's got a toolkit. We always have a plan. Um, you know, and just really a lot of nice people.
Nice. So what advice would you give your 20-year-old self about getting into motorcycling?
Dear God, go buy one. Just do it. Like, what are you waiting for? I just I don't know. I probably wouldn't have a house or a job at this time. At this point, I would probably just be a nomad. I would
Hmm.
probably just live on that bike and have a completely different life path at this point, I think. Um,
Really?
yeah, oh, because I love traveling. I mean, I will just pick up and go. I'm totally okay with that. I don't have to have a plan. I know something will happen, I'll figure it out. My 20-year-old self, I don't think I would have been safe. I think because as we all were when we were younger, we were invincible.
Right.
And
Yeah.
whether that was true or not, we certainly thought it. I think I would have gotten in trouble because I probably would have gotten something fast and then just
Hmm.
acted dumb. So, I mean, I don't really have any regrets because I feel like this is a good time in my life to get out and involved in the sport and I think I have the right bike right now.
Hmm.
It's fun enough that I can get in and out of there if I want to. Or I can just putt around and it's like sitting in my armchair, but I feel like I have the maturity now to, not give everybody the finger that's trying to kill me. Just kind of keep it together and enjoy it.
Well, I think that's you're not the first person to give me to say that advice of just, if you're thinking about doing it, go do it. Because I always tell people, like, if you're thinking about getting a motorcycle, go take the Motorcycle Safety Foundation, go take the class. If you hate it, great. You found out you didn't like it. That's fine.
Right,
If you love
right.
it, great. You found out something that maybe will be able to do for the rest of your life and enjoy.
Oh, absolutely. I see young girls at gas stations and they're looking and I'm like, "Oh, you got to do this." I'm like, I give them the rev. Uh, But some of my favorite times are when, I'm at the gas station and here comes some little old lady. And she goes, I used to have a Yamaha and boy, we'd ride around and just a smile on her face and just to like bring that memory back to that person is just really gratifying.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. You gotta love, like, just bringing back those memories for people. Right when you stop at gas stations, it tends to be like one of two things: either someone saying, "Oh my God, I could never get on one of those things," or it's someone, "Oh, I used to, and I wish I still did."
Right. Oh, absolutely. One of the two, that's for sure. Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be one of those little old ladies one day. I had an Indian back in the day.
I ran into some women in where was I? Bend, Oregon, and she had this massive, massive bike with a huge. Uh, it was a no, it was a trike, and it was a customized trike, and she was just riding along, and I mean, this thing was decked out. It was white with it was pure white, super clean. She just had absolutely like it had white wall tires.
Oh, wow.
It looked like something out of the 70s, and it was awesome. And she just got on her trike, and I think she was at the grocery store loading up for groceries, putting them in the back of her trike and going home. Like,
Right,
good for
right.
you. It's awesome.
Those are super handy. I have a friend that sometimes she'll bring her trike, and I don't ever carry anything. I usually wear my leather, and it's got deep pockets. Everything's in my pockets. And
Hmm.
but if I need a bottle of water, she's got snacks back there, and she's like rain gear. Oh, you need a sweater, honey? Yeah, okay.
Right, yeah. Having luggage sometimes is nice. So so favorite Ohio destinations for you.
Well, we have a national forest over here, which is really,
Hmm.
really close. And it goes down by the river. They call it the Crooked River. So you know it's going like this. And like you said, you drop down in that valley and the temperature changes on that little Honda NX. I mean, I don't know how big the national park is, but I mean, I think I did 10,000 miles just down in that little valley, just back and forth and up and down, and so like that's my go-to. Like
Hmm.
if I just need to get out, but I don't have that much time, just pop over there and screw around a little bit. I don't mind. Let's see. I'm trying to think. If you take like one of the straight ways down to West Virginia is 800. You just take 800 down. It's nice and smooth and easy. Um, the the way that I usually go on any of my trips is there's like three roads. So in case you get somewhere and the service is spotty and you can't find the map, I'm looking for 163, you know.
Hmm.
So usually I'll just do have a couple of different roads unless I know, we're going to get down there, I'm going to be able to look at the map. Um, but really down uh southeast of Columbus is just fantastic down there. But if you go west of Columbus, there's Hocking Hills, which is just gorgeous. I don't know if that's a national forest. It might be. Um, just those areas down there. You have to get away from the lake up here. You have to come
Hmm.
down south to get, and southern Ohio is just gorgeous. So just really pick a road. You can't make
Hmm.
a wrong turn, like you said.
Do you have like an all-time favorite, most memorable ride that was just meaningful to you in some way?
That time I just picked up and went down to Marietta by myself. I was on the Indian and I just went and found some roads that nobody was on. I, I went slow, I went fast, but I was out there by myself. And I stopped at this gas station and I met these two old road dogs and they looked at that bike and they looked at me. And so we started chatting, and they were telling me about the Cherahalla Highway and
Hmm.
got in their bag, gave me some maps of places to go. Really, I was gone all day by myself, and I just could not have been happier. I really, really loved that trip because um, I had the opportunity and I had the wherewithal to just pick up and go. I mean, I meet a lot of people that just wouldn't do that. Like they have to have
Hmm.
somebody with them or like nobody even knew where I was. I mean, but I wasn't worried about that. And it was just a really, really nice day. Um, I'm always riding around with my boyfriend. Those are, it's like every day is my birthday, really. Because we have just such beautiful areas to go here. But I think for real, the one that sticks out is that trip down to Marietta because I went the long way and then I went the long way back, and I
Yeah.
just felt free, absolutely freeing.
Well, that's awesome. It's one of the reasons why I have ridden in groups, but I just love riding by myself.
Except for Mrs. Miles.
Well, anytime she wants to come is more than welcome. uh, Great. So, anything else that you wanted to make sure to cover or make sure to mention?
Well, I do think people should wear their gear.
Mm-hmm.
I see people in shorts and tennis shoes. It's just
It
I
scares
can't
me.
stand it. It scares me, for them. Um, so definitely wear your gear. Some people shouldn't be on a motorcycle. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, go take the test. See if it's for you. It may not be. Go get an electric bicycle. Um, a one wheel maybe, but some just pay attention to everybody. You always just really always have to be on the lookout for the unexpected, you know, um, kids or a ball in the road or this
Mm-hmm.
guy's tire fell off. You don't even know what's going to happen. You just have to be really ready for anything and you know, uh you can still relax, but still in your brain, just have that there in the front of your mind, be ready to do anything. That's why I like having the dirt bike experience because I'll hop a curb and get out of there. I mean, I haven't
Mm-hmm.
had to, but I will, right?
Right.
So,
You know you can.
I know I can. Yeah. I just think go out there and have fun, enjoy it. This is your one life and go be you and if it is on a bike then more power to you.
Do you have any like social media that you want people to follow or so? Mention it or not. It's up to you.
Well, let's see. I'm mostly mostly cussing on Blue Sky, which
Okay.
my name is FTR, but the at is mostly cussing. Um, which I did very well today. I'd like
I
to
don't recall a single one.
Not a single one. My mother would be proud. And then I have a YouTube channel, which is at FTR Woman. I have 32 followers, so you have to type the whole thing. It's one word, and because it'll
I'll
try
put
to
a
tell
link
you
to it.
somebody else. But you can see my pretty gold forks in the picture. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much all I'm doing right now these days.